And here we go. Green flag underway for the fourth week of the MEA GT Championship Series, and SMX Avatar will lead the field here in lap number 1. And so far, so good for SMX Avatar, who got off to a really good start so far here. Just to give you guys a little update, these two drivers actually got bumped up from the B to the A lobby, as a couple of the drivers were not able to make today's race. So two of the drivers already from the B lobby having a good start. That's SMX Avatar and SMX Venomous. Looks like two of the RBM drivers, Braddock and I believe that was Surprise, had a really bad start back there, as you see both the drivers into the distance now. Oh, looks like that's ESV Mute. I do apologize. Looks like Mute got involved in an accident. There's another accident behind as well. Not sure who those drivers are. Looks like Mexaterra. We'll just have to take a look and see right here. That is, it looks like Mexaterra after all, and he's back on the racetrack. So a couple of unfortunate circumstances. The one thing about Sonoma, the difficulty of this track is passing. Passing is a very difficult thing here. And with a reverse grid, if you're one of the faster guys in the back of the pack starting the race, it's going to be a big challenge, an uphill challenge for some of these drivers going forward. So we're going to have to see how things play out as the race commences. So far we got Avatar, Venomous 1 and 2. You got Beast Shadow in the 3rd spot, Feedy 4th, 5th SSR Yami 6th, Captain Speed, Red 1 and Honey Badger 7th and 8th, 9th Trex, LMPM 10th. So that's your top 10 right now. It looks like Supra, which is also Hydra, currently up in that 13th spot. Vinny hasn't gotten the advance a whole lot. He's in the 17th position. So let's get back there and take a look at those guys. As let's hop on with Supra here, aka Hydra. Sorry, I had a cough there briefly. Right now battling for the 12th spot with Mex Colonel. And it looks like we got our first lag out of the race, unfortunately. Hopefully that's not me. Could be me. Looks like Mexaterra has ended his day short, and Supra made a mistake. I'm not sure what happened to him. He's in a really bad spot right now. He's got full damage. We're gonna have to see if he can end up fixing some of the issues he's had in this race so far. That's very unfortunate for the man of the from the pole sitter. Right now, points leader RBM Vinny on the racetrack. He's got full damage as well. A couple of the top drivers already having difficulties in this race. And not the way you want to see it. The top two drivers in the point standings right now, both having big problems early on in this race. And I believe you'll be seeing both of them enter pit road here very shortly, as you have Hydra, who's completely damaged, and you have Oh, I do apologize. I guess Vinny's not damaged, and we're having Forza glitches. That's exciting too. You know, that's always a fun time. Forza glitches. Who knows what the problems may be. And actually, that was Colonel that lagged out early in this race. So MEX Colonel already out of the race. Let's go check out ESV Mute. We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. Currently running in that 12th spot all by himself. 3rd in the point standings. SSR Bobberts right behind RBM Vinny. And right now, things are pretty much the same, but B Shadow has moved up to the 2nd spot now, and he's looking to challenge for the race lead. B Shadow goes to the inside, not able to get underneath enough. Avatar able to cut off his line, but wasn't able to really capitalize, being on the outside. The Beast Shadow trying to challenge for the race lead right now. Savitar able to hang on so far. And right behind them, it looks like FLA Feedy's up in the middle battling with SMX Venomous right now. And ooh, Beast Shadow off the track, doing a little bit of some off-road racing right there. And right now, Beast Shadow's trying to do a lot of work here. These two are trying to get away from the pack a little bit. It looks like Cap Speed has moved up to the 5th spot around SSR Yami, but Yami able to get back to the inside. He's got FLA Red One right to the inside as well of him. He'll move up the spot, but Cap Speed hasn't given up just yet. Oh, but they touched just a little bit. That moved Red One to the outside way wide. He lost a couple positions, but not too much, so that he was very fortunate. It wasn't worse than that. Trax looks to the inside of Jansen for that 8th spot. So right now we got some battles all over the racetrack. You see Trax looking to the inside of Cap right there, able to get to the inside 3 wide for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. It looks like, I'm sorry, 4th, 5th, and 6th between Yami, Feedy, and I believe that's Rev One. And Yami, oh, he hits the bump off of the track. Gets a little bit of a run there, but Trex gets a nice run through the inside of Feedy. Trex has slowly been moving up the racetrack. His first appearance in MEA. And if you're just tuning in, once again, this is week number 4 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I'm SSR Mayhem, bringing you the action here at Sonoma, as we have a good one here. We had a couple of the top contenders early on struggle, as RBM Vinny, SSR Bobbers had some difficulties. They distanced themselves from the pack. Also defending champion Jim Hydra, also known as Supra for today, having account issues. He had a very bad accident and had to make an early pit stop as well. So we have to see how those drivers will take effect. Also, ESV Mute, we haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, but he is up there in the top 10 of the point standings as well, I believe. And he's trying to find a way to fight back in there. Pretty much all the top contenders have struggled early on. It has been a heck of a race so far to watch. Let's get back up to the race lead here. Let's see what B Shadow's doing. He's still working on SMX Savitar. Both of these drivers looking for their first MEA win. Neither one has ever won an MEA event. SMX Venomous, he's also there as well. Both of the SMX drivers in the top 3 moved up from the B lobby. Fortunate to be under the reverse grid rule for today. B Shadow's still working. So B Shadow still working on everything. Let's pull up the race map here. Let's take a look at where everyone's at. We'll see where there's Supra. That is your defending champion, Hydra, currently second in the point standing. Then you have, well, where is it? Robert's right there as well. Vinny's actually moved up to 10th, so Vinny's got a really good start in this one. SSR Pikachu, she's running 11th all by herself. We'll hop on with RD Jansen, as we got a little pack of cars here battling right now. You see SSR Bobbers right behind him. ESV Mute right in front of him. So Bobbers looking to challenge RD Jansen for the 13th spot. SSR Trex, he's right there as well, running in the 15th spot after an early pit stop. And again, I can't see anything on my screen, ladies and gentlemen. Forza logic, Forza physics, Forza everything. It's a beautiful thing, I think. Couple things to note: there's a lot of DBR9s in the field if you haven't noticed already. One of the other things that was a big factor is the pole sitter Jim Hydra. He actually is in the Viper. ESV Mute, he selected the Nismo, and pretty much that's your field. I don't believe there's anything else out there but these specific cars other than SSR Yami, and he's driving in the R8 actually here. He sort of committed to that car at the beginning of the season. And he just said, I'm going to run this car all season long. I don't care what anyone says. And so far, he's been doing a fantastic job this season in the R8. He will be driving the Audi TT, he says, in the final week of the series. So Audi all the way out, I guess. B Shadow still looking for the race lead. Let's get further back, shall we, and check on LMP Amoeba, currently battling in the points as well. He's currently back there in the 17th spot. Amoeba's struggling to get up through the field, it looks like, so he's actually trying to catch back up. We ride with ESV Mute. He's got RD Jansen and Bobbert still battling behind him. He's actually losing them. SSR Trex as well, not too far off into the distance, still hanging strong. RBM Vinny is currently battling with LMP Yem for the 9th spot. SV Mute now, he's catching up to SSR Pikachu. You see Vinny right there, he's battling with LPM. trying to get inside the top 10 right now. Or I'm sorry, he's already inside the top 10. He's trying to get around Yem for the 8th spot. And there's AMS B Shadow. B Shadow made a mistake after battling for the race lead, and he is off the pace, ladies and gentlemen. That is AMS B Shadow. Currently was running in the 2nd spot, and now he is currently damaged after some sort of incident, and he needs to get himself to pit road so that he can get repaired, try to get back out on the racetrack, as right now he looks like he has little control of the race car. So very unfortunate for AMS B Shadow. He was doing such a great job. RBM Vinny to the outside, side by side. Yem bounces off the car. We're still riding along with SSR Bobberts here right now. He's battling with RDE Jansen, still having a hard time getting around him. Looks like Mute has finally caught up to Pikachu, and now we got a line of cars here battling from 7th back. But it looks like Vinny had taken over the 7th spot, so Vinny now trying to get out of harm's way. Trek still trying to hang on the tail end of this. I kind of like that livery. Well, since that doesn't work, let's just pull up the car information. Oh, SSR Overraiders made that car. And there's another driver off the racetrack. And that's SMX Savitar, the race leader. He's ran into problems as well. So that gives the lead now to SMX Venomous. And he's currently all by himself for the most part. He's got a couple of drivers hungry behind him. AMS B Shadow back on the racetrack. He's in front of them, and he's now back in that 19th spot, trying to regroup of what had happened to him a couple of laps ago. So a lot of accidents have happened so far in this race. It's very eventful. SMX Venomous, currently the race leader, and what a position that he's in right now. Fortunate circumstances he has put himself in. SMX Savitar has dropped back to 20th after a recent accident as well. He is possibly about to go a lap down, if depending on where they are on the racetrack. I know him and B Shadow were kind of in the same place when that had happened. And the M3 driver battling with the RA driver, that is Red One against Yami. And right behind Yami, I have to look because I'm not fully sure. That's Feedy still there in the mix. Feedy, he's dropped back. He's still running in that 4th spot, actually. He never dropped back after the incidences between B Shadow and Savitar. There you see B Shadow right there. You see Savitar, he's in the pits. Savitar goes a lap down in this race. So we'll come back and check these guys out here in a little bit. Let's get back to check on how things are heating up in that pack of like 4 or 5 cars. You see ESV Mute to the inside of Pikachu, side by side. Oh, he clips the tire wheel just a little bit right there. Pikachu able to get back into it. Bobberts, who got around Jansen, he's back in the mix as well, and he's now in that fight for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Savitar is now 2 laps down in this race, so he had immense damage compared to what happened to B Shadow, and he's just going to have to try to fight through it to get those points and see if anybody else makes mistakes throughout this race. So very unfortunate for SMX Savitar right now. In the number 20 car, we ride with Mute. Mute trying to do everything he can to get around Pikachu. Mute to the outside! Side by side with Pikachu as they go around the hairpin. and he takes on a position. Pikachu loses control of the car, and Jansen comes right back in front of Bobberts. Bobberts having to lay on the gas just a little bit there. Lay off the gas, I should say. So Pikachu, she made a big mistake battling. It looked like she clipped the inside of the apron. Now she's in battle with SSR Honey Badger, as Trex also got by as well. Not sure if she has any damage on the race car. She's kind of stuck to the outside right there, and she is okay, it looks like. So Bobbert's back to the inside of, well, that was Jansen. I overshot it. All that hard work Bobberts had to go through to get around Jansen. Now he's got to do all over again. And right now Bobberts needs a big run here because he's currently third in the point standings. And with the difficulties that Vinny and Hydra had, he can capitalize on some really critical points here. RBM Vinny, however, he's currently in the 6th spot. And Hydra, he's still back there in the 17th position. He's just trying to catch up some ground that he lost early in this race. So the current defending points champion right now trying to make something happen with little that has, for the big issues that he had happened. And we just got word that Vinny actually pitted early, so thank you for that update. Wasn't sure, it just looked like he actually fell off pace, but happy to know that that wasn't the case, as Bobberts probably pitted with him early as well. Bobberts, who had gotten past RD Jansen. Jansen now battling with Trex right there, SSR Trex. And it looks like Jansen let Trex on by, so Trex moves up to the 10th position now. Meanwhile, Pikachu and Honey Badger look like they're catching up. There's LMP Amoeba as well, currently 4th in the point standings. He's trying to make up ground. Looks like he's been struggling early into this one. Let's hop back on with the race leader with SMX Venomous. Currently distancing himself from 2nd and 3rd. He's slowly catching up to B Shadow, who was actually battling for the race lead several laps ago, but unfortunately with an unfortunate issue, he just ended up catching a bad end of a deal and currently trying not to go lap down. SMX Savitar, who was leading this race, he also ended up in a worse deal. Not sure how, but he ended up dropping back about a couple laps down. So Venomous inherited the lead and has done a fantastic job since. And it looks like the cars behind have ended into the pits. That would be Red One, or sorry, not Red One. No, it is Red One. Yeah, it is. Red One, Yami, and Feedy. They all enter pits together. That puts Captain Speed into the 2nd position now. And let's check on Vinny here. Vinny is on his way, and if he played his cards right, he might be in front of everybody else here, as him and Yem still have not really distance from one another. Yem's done a great job sticking with him. And Vinny, he's moved up to the 3rd spot. So kind of a change of events right there. And Bobberts looks like him and Mute both got around the rest of the pack, but not sure what happened right there. Looks like Savitar was trying to get out of the way of somebody. We still have a battle between Trex and Rex, Red One back there. And now we got a gigantic train of cars, ladies and gentlemen, from 7th back to it looks like about 13th or 14th spot. So the way this is playing out, looks like Vinny might be net leader. I would assume that Venomous would want to pit probably soon. So Vinny, who's gained 17 positions since the start of this race. A lot of drivers have moved up in the back of the pack. You see Mute there with 12, Bobberts with 13. Looks like Hydra just got a really bad end of a deal today. He's still back there in 17th and trying to get some more positions, because right now he's in a Really unfortunate spot. Good share at the tail end of that. Red one still defending off with RD Jansen behind him. SSR Yami right there as well. And we got a new leader. RBM Vinny inherits the race lead. And now, can Yem challenge? Can Yem make something happen here? LMPM, what a season it has been for him. What an up and downhill it has been for him in the last 2 years here at MEA. Last year, Yem competed in almost every race and lagged out in each of those. This year, he's averaging top fives. And right now, he's back in another great position. And could he do one better? Could he chase down the points leader and make something happen here late? We got to keep an eye on these guys. And not too far behind them, you got ESV Mute. SSR Bobberts currently running in those 3rd and 4th spot. The leader, Venomous, who lost lead after having it for so long, back there in the 5th spot, looking for one of his best results in MEA history. Then you got SSR Trex, his first race appearance of the year, first appearance since 2000 and I believe 18. I could be wrong about that, but he's looking to try to crack into that top 5. He's also got FLA Red One, and then you got the three Musketeers back there, still battling it. This battle back here has been probably one of the most interesting ones between Feedy, Yami, and then Jansen, who kind of got into the mix after pit cycling. Yami's kind of able to get out of that. He's trying to track down Red One, who he's also been battling with throughout this race. And Yami's starting to distance himself from the group, try to track down Red One. Meanwhile, FLA Feedy, he's trying to fend off some hungry drivers right behind him. He's got Jansen, Honey Badger, Amoeba who's slowly getting through the thick of things. We got about 10 laps to go here, about 11 total. If you're watching this, go ahead and and if you have anybody you'd like to check on, please tell me down in the chat box. Be happy to take a look for you. What a wild race this has been so far. Feedy still holding off. Yeah, Honey Badger gets a little wide into the grass right there, was able to save the car. And to the inside, that's SSR Trex battling with SMX Venomous for the 5th spot. Trex moving up another position. We haven't talked a whole lot about him. We've seen him throughout the race, mentioned him, but he's really making things happen here. He did start up closer to the front early in this race, but has kind of gone up and down since the race has begun. Now he's got himself in a nice position. Just needs to be consistent and maybe be able to distance himself from Venomous, who's been doing a fantastic job since the start of the race. Let's get back on with the race lead. Let's jump on with the Yem. And Yem's car, very dark on the MEA logo and the number. So, let's take a look at that. You can barely tell that he's got the correct requirements on the car, but it's there. He's just doing everything he can right now to stick with Vinny. And we got a lag out, it looks like. Not sure who. BM surprise, ladies and gentlemen. He lagged out. Savitar, though he's 2 laps down, that's a big jump for him. As long as he gets his positions, he will be able to take over that spot. Very fortunate circumstances for surprise. And right now, it looks like Vinny is slowly starting to distance himself from Vinny. Meanwhile, Mute and Bobberts trying to make their way up there. And yes, actually, Cart, there is Mute on the way. He's actually been catching up slowly throughout this race. And it looks like somebody else has lagged out as well. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just seeing things here. You hate when you see the Forza wait sign show up on the screen. They always It always makes you feel like something bad happened. We've gone through most of this race with everybody, so, it's very unfortunate if we start seeing people fall off late. But, guys like Hydra right now, the points battle, he wants to see people kind of fall off as much as possible after an unfortunate circumstance with him early on. Still not sure what happened to him. So Mute slowly creeping up. We'll see if he catches up to these guys as the race progresses. So we still got this battle going on here between these 5-6 drivers. Well, 2, 4, 6, 7 drivers. See Cap Speed, SSR Pikachu not too far behind them. And it seems like Red 1, Yami, Feedy, Yanzi, they just haven't been able to get out of a battle. But I'm sure for them it's a lot of fun. Always fun racing clean guys. And oh, look at this. Yami's sticking his nose into the inside. Red 1 trying to hang on to the outside. Who gets the better exit? Looks like Red 1 is. Oh, but they're still really close. And it looks like the B lobby has come to a close. CJ Pert is your race winner of the B lobby. So we're down to the last several laps in this one. Let's hop back to the front. And it looks like Yam is starting to fall off, and something looks like has happened to Mute. Mute's now battling with Bobberts for the third spot, and Bobberts has caught up immensely. Not sure if a mistake had happened by the elusive Motorsports driver. And oh, he gets a little loose off the corner. Bobberts looks to the inside. Side by side, Nismo against the DBR9. Aston wins the corner there, and Bobberts to the third spot with Mute falling right behind him. Mute goes off the track just a little bit there. He was able to hang on to the car, but loses about a car length on Bobberts. Mute all over the outside of the track. We pull up the race map. Hydra's moved up to the 14th spot in this one. We'll move back to the mid-pack right now. Still got a big line of cars back there. We are down to about the last remaining laps of this race. MEA trying to hold off Honey Badger right now for the 9th spot. And Feedy trying to find a way around the red one now. Goes to the inside, but with the track layout, puts it back to the outside, falls him low. Pull up the race map. And you see that Vinny's actually catching up to a car that's about to go a lap down. It looks like that's AMSB Shadow. He's still out there trying to keep himself away from going a lap down. Vinny just trying to keep himself running consistently right now. He's finally got away from LMPM. We'll see what happens as B Shadow's in the way. Will B just move out of the way or he run his line? Can Yem make something happen here late, ladies and gentlemen? He's got to find some type of momentum, some type of speed. He's the only one that can challenge for the lead here. He's been doing a fantastic job sticking with Vinny. And that's a great question, Cart. I am not sure about that, only because Forza Motorsports is not cooperating with me today. And if I bring up the damage, we'll get to look at, oh wait a minute, it fixed itself. So let's see if we can check out Vinny's car then. We can see where Yem's at. So Vinny's about 32% on fuel. His tire wear is about at almost 70%. So we'll have to see here what Vinny can hold off on. I can't believe that worked. Earlier it was full damage, everything. No problem. And here we go. Vinny trying to put down B Shadow a lap down. B Shadow gets right out of the way. And that will put Vinny in a good spot, being all by himself. Meanwhile, LMPM was hoping that probably Beast could hold him up a little bit, but wasn't able to. And Yem's probably thinking maybe he can catch the draft off of Beast's car going on the straight. RBM Vinny here, who's won 2 races this season already. Winning week 1 and week 2 last week. Had an unfortunate circumstance that lost him the race lead to Hydra. Hydra was able to pick up the win. This week, no problems for RBM Vinny. With only a few laps to go. Oh, B Shadow just crushes right into the wall! Not sure what just happened to AMS B Shadow, but he hit that wall, and he hit that wall hard. And he will be going back into pit road. No, he remains out on the racetrack. Oh my gosh. He is really taking a risk. He's going to put the car into the infield, and that will be his day. B Shadow putting the vehicle away. And a very unfortunate and probably disappointing race for B Shadow has come to a close. as SMX Savitar currently 2 laps down. He was leading in this race, had some issues, and just has not been able to capitalize ever since. Right behind him, there is Supra, also known as Hydra, your defending champion, not having the best of days and considerably one of the probably the most disappointing performances for him after having a unfortunate accident early on. He wasn't really around anybody, so I don't know what happened. He was battling with one of the other drivers on the racetrack, but then something had happened, so I'm sure we'll find out sometime later today what had happened to him. But right now he's currently running on fumes as well, it looks like. And I'm not sure if he actually has full damage on the car or not, but he's definitely struggling out there today. So we move up to SMX Venomous, still running in the top 10. Currently in the 6th spot, he's got SSR Yami, Honey Badger, and I believe that's Feedy right behind them as well. That's Jansen. As we ride on with Honey Badger. Next time around, there will be a white flag, and we will have the final results for today. So we just got word that B-Shadow had a big accident with Savitar, and that's what ended both of their races. And unfortunate for both of the drivers. They were having such a good battle for the race lead, and you gotta think what could have been for both of them drivers if they could have stayed out. Could they have held off Vinny and the rest of the drivers behind them? We can only wonder, as we have about 1 lap to go in this race, and Vinny, he's still not out of harm's way, but we'll hop on to them because we got about 1 lap to go. If you're an RBM Vinny fan, let us hear it. If you're an LMPM fan, let us hear it. Who do you got? 1 lap to go. The white flag is starting to wave. Yam is starting to catch up to Vinny all of a sudden, and it looks like that might be because Vinny's getting close on tire wear. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's really affecting him just yet. Yem is a lot closer than he was 3-4 laps ago. Vinny not getting a really good run in the turn 2. Yem is starting to close the gap. Yem, he's back in fighting position. Can he make a move on Vinny? Yem looks like he's got a better line into the corner as he's coming down off of the roundabout. Yem's right on the back bumper of Vinny. Yem elects to take the outside line. Can he get his nose underneath? Not able to do it right there. Yem trying to make something happen. Could he pick up his first MEA win, or will we see a 3-time winner of the season by Vinny? To the outside, Yem has to hold off just a little bit right there. Nose to tail, both the drivers. Yem's got a great one. He's got a great run off the corner, side by side, going into the hairpin. Here they come, they touch. Bumper to bumper, side to side. It looks like Vinny's gonna hang on. And week number 4 here at Sonoma, it's RBM Vinny holding off LMPM for the race win here at Sonoma. Congratulations to RBM Vinny on a well-earned win there at the end. SSR Bobbers 3rd, 4th, ESV Mute 5th. SSR Trex, he had a good solid race today. Coming around the final turns for all these drives. Yami to the inside of Honey Badger coming off the hairpin. He'll take over the 7th spot. It's SSR Yami at 7th, 8th, Honey Badger 9th, Jansen. FLA Feedy, he's coming home 10th. Right behind him, points contender, LMP Amoeba will finish 11th. 12th will be SMX Cap Speed. 13th will be Mex Zaterip, it looks like. Jim Supra, he'll come home, and one of his worst finishes in MEA in the 14th spot. you know he's probably not too happy about this finish, but you know he'll come back stronger next week to try to avenge what was a very rough week for him. And then following him, RBM Braddock. Braddock not having a great run today. Something had happened to FLA Red One. He had to make another pit stop. Not sure what for. Not sure if he had an accident. Him and SSR Pikachu, she had some type of misfortunes late in this race as she's coming around the final laps of this one as well. And obviously, SMX Savitar, who's still a lap down. An unfortunate race for some of these drivers. You have to feel for them. So while we wait for them, we'll bring in a couple of the drivers. I know 3 of them won't be talking on their mic, so we'll bring Bobberts and Trex in here and get their take on their race today. And let's see if we get Trex in here as well. So all these drivers coming across the finish line. There goes Red One finally coming around. SSR Pikachu, she is coming around to make her final stop of the race, or final lap of the race. And then Savitar, he is now on his final lap after having a really struggling performance as well. And the AI said, no way, my friend. So let's try to get 2 more drivers put in here. We need Bobberts, and I'm going to try to get SSR Trex in here as well for a post-race interview coming up next. Let's see here. I know I got Bobberts in here. And I'd love to get the take on LMPM. I really hope that wasn't on. And Savitar coming around the final hairpin for him, coming through the final S's as he's just trying to get through all the AI cars that are still out on the racetrack, having a good old time. He's about to get wrecked by the R8. And we got Trex in here as well. And can both of you gentlemen please check off the party box for the audio? Please tell me it's there because I don't know if I set it up. I did. But please do that now. And we're going to start with Trex here. Now, I know that Vinny can't speak. Yem doesn't have a mic, so we really can't get their takes on the race today. And Mute as well doesn't like to speak on the mic, so we'll actually excuse him as well. But we'll break down all the racers as well up to this point. And that's it for week number 4. RBM Vinny able to hold off a hard-charging LMPM on the final lap. Yem made it interesting, just wasn't able to finish it. And Vinny was your race leader. And we're going to start with 5th place finisher SSR Trex. And Trex, it has been a while since we've seen you here in MEA. Recently changed to a new team. You're becoming a new face. And take us through your race today. It seemed like as the race progressed, you were getting better. It seemed like it was kind of up and down early on, but you were able to capitalize late and able to get in that top 5 finish.
Yeah, I was being pretty consistent overall. I saw that.
You know, you had a few battles out there. Was there any moment in the race that it just seemed really tough to pass here?
Not really. I saw every window of opportunity to make a move, and I took every opportunity I could. And I ended up in 5th place, so I'm pretty happy about it.
And obviously, last week you qualified, weren't able to race, but you still got about 6 more weeks to go. What are you looking to go forward ahead? Obviously, it's going to be really difficult trying to get in that championship fight, so what are you looking for overall by the end of the season?
Hopefully, to be in the top 10 at least. That's my goal for this season.
Well, congratulations, Trex, on a top 5 finish today. We'll look forward to seeing you in the upcoming weeks, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And that is SSR Trex, 5th overall. And next will be ESV Mute, also formerly known as Not Mute, who's been competing this season. We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. He has been qualifying for points, still in the championship hunt, but's got a lot of work to do. Was able to run a really consistent race there at the end. Got some struggles early on, but was able to capitalize and get a top 5 finish. So congratulations to Mute on his 4th overall finish. And then we got SSR Bobberts, championship contender, still trying to edge out Vinny there, but wasn't going to be today, it looks like, Bobberts. And it looked like there were some issues early on in the race. Not sure what happened to Hydra. He had some type of hiccup. It looked like he was by himself, and you kind of got the opportunity there to try to get some very, very critical points. And obviously, Vinny was able to stay out of trouble, but you really had a lot of battling out there. It seemed like for the longest time, you and Jansen was just going at it. There was no real room in sight. Then Pikachu had that mistake battling with Mute. It dropped you back again. You had a fight with Jansen again, and it really held you up there. But it looked like you had the pace to possibly compete for the front of the field.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I think I could have won that race. I know my intention wasn't to pit on lap 1, but I don't know who hit the tyre wall coming through the S's. Might have been Nicole, I wasn't too sure. But a lot of us got damaged, obviously myself, Vinny, Amoeba, and other people did as well. So I didn't want to pit on lap 1, like I said, because I thought it'd be quite touch and go tyre wear. But my tyre wear seemed to be better in the race than it was in practice, so that helped me out. The pace was there pretty much all race, though. As you said, it was just when I was behind Vinny, it was a case of we both, when the pit stoppers came out, he caught it at the right time and I didn't, so that's what lost me about 5 or 6 seconds. And once I got, the good battle with Jansen, obviously with, unfortunate incident with Nicole and Mute, and got past them, I was catching. I actually think I had the pace. I was trying to Egon Yem at the end to try and get Vinny to see if we could get him on the last 2 laps, because I knew that his tyre would be much better than both of ours. That's why, I knew I wasn't going to catch them. I just wanted to get ahead of Mute, and I did that. So, I'm happy with the 3rd place. It's a good result considering what happened at the start and the amount of battling and, losing outs. But it's, at the same time, it's a little bit of a, mishap, and I feel like I could have, maybe got 2nd, maybe even won that. But, is what it is.
And Bobberts, it's not often, you see top guys like Hydra there have a struggle of a race. And I don't know if you mentioned that, but do you know what happened to him at the beginning of the race?
Yeah, incident with Cranial, I think it was. Not entirely sure what happened exactly. I know Hydra obviously wasn't happy with it at all, and then obviously he had a 2nd incident. I think then it was with Nicole. Again, don't know exactly what happened. So he just exchanged a couple of words that that he wasn't happy or best pleased. But it's unfortunate for him. Everybody at some point will have a bad race, I would presume, at some point in the season. That's his bad race, I guess you could say, out the way. But me and Vinny and everyone else could still have any given points. You never know.
Well, congratulations, Bobberts, on a top 3 finish here today, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And LMPM, he finishes 2nd, and that is his best finish, almost being able to edge it out. Would love to hear him on the mic, but unfortunately we won't get that opportunity. And just wanted to say congratulations to him on what seems to be one of the most impressive seasons we've seen Yem. I know last year he struggled quite a bit with the connection issues, but he put on one heck of a performance, was able to battle, so congratulations to him. And then the man of the hour, RBM Vinny, no problems, no sweat. He picks up another win on the season. That is his 3rd win, ladies and gentlemen. Hydra's the only other driver to win. Unfortunately, he's got a lot of work to do to try to get back the title by the end of the season. But there's plenty of weeks ahead. A lot could happen. And we're looking forward to seeing how the championship unfolds. Once again, my SSR Mayhem, thank you for watching week number 4 here at Sonoma. It was a beautiful day for racing, and it was a heck of a race. A lot happened. This will be put on our YouTube channel at MEA Online Racing. Go check it out at Mayhem's Endurance Association. And if you are just tuning in and you want to be a part of it, please see our Twitter channel at MEA Online Racing so you can see the updates and upcoming events. And not only that, but be able to compete in the current series here in the MEA GT Championship Series. Thank you all for watching, and you all have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week.